left off during the last news update, and that's in Israel, where authorities have arrested six Jewish suspects this weekend in the slaying of a 16-year-old Palestinian teen. Meantime, Israeli leaders in the Shafat neighborhood of East Jerusalem following violent protests over the weekend. And now we turn to President Obama's hometown of Chicago, where violence continued over the 4th of July weekend. We've seen this all summer, really, in Chicago and previous summers as well. At least 11 people were shot within 4 hours, and that was just yesterday. This brings the total number of people shot since the holiday weekend started to more than 60, at least 7 people in Chicago. Meantime, the Obamacare employer mandate has become a political quagmire and a target for a lot of Democrats. They're starting to agree that the penalty or tax, depends who you talk to, that for businesses that refuse to offer health insurance should be abandoned. The White House plans to slowly phase in the mandate that have more than 50 full-time workers must offer them affordable health insurance. According to reports, the cost to provide insurance will hurt small businesses' hiring, employee compensation, and overall growth. Also on Obamacare, doctors and hospitals are now being rewarded for filing records electronically, but attempts to coordinate healthcare records electronically has opened the door for providers to defraud the federal government, even with auditing programs in place. The Centers for Disease Control and Medicaid Services does not require healthcare providers to run the auditing program, though, and there are no agencies watching over the incoming files. So those who don't comply will be punished with lower Medicare payments, but how they'll find them, not exactly clear at this point. And a Southern California man is back home after a scary run-in with a shark over the weekend. Stephen Robles recounted the encounter with CBS News.
I was staring at this shark face to face, looking at his eyeballs as he bit right into me. I had absolutely no time to react. I felt that crunch right into my chest and that compression with the teeth coming in my ribs.
Scary situation for sure. The whole encounter was captured by amateur photographers. Robles told reporters that he was an hour into a normal weekend swim off Manhattan Beach, California, when the bite happened. Before the bite, a 7-foot-long fisherman's hook for about half an hour. Once it got off, it went straight for Robles there. He is now saying that it was irresponsible for that fisherman not to release the shark right away. So, JD, we've heard increasing reports of great white sharks on the East Coast, very common on the West Coast as well. And of course, there's always the hysteria that comes whenever you report about a shark attack. People, don't go in the water. Don't.
This hysteria has been around now for 3 decades. Ever since the summer release of Jaws, the motion picture, it's as if there's a need to have this kind of story. And I'm not in any way indicting the agenda-setting function of the dominant media culture. It is a story. I mean, when someone's attacked by a shark, but I don't know if we can call it hysteria as much as we can call it a predictable summertime reaction. Nobody wants to see this. We should also point out, not that we have a portfolio for any coastal chamber of commerce, but look, the chances of this happening are somewhat remote.
Very slim. As a scuba diver, a surfer, I do not fear sharks in the water because there are enough sharks. If they actually liked the taste of human flesh, I don't think anybody would ever go in the water again. Also, not a statistician, but there are some statistics out there.
Oh, are there?
About the unlikelihood of getting bitten by a shark. The New Statesman, that you are more likely, if you play soccer, to get bit by that World Cup player, Luis Suarez, than you are by an actual shark attack.
He's from Uruguay?
Uruguay, who claims that his opponent fell into his teeth. Yes, of course, the odds there for getting bitten by a shark are 1 in 3,700,000. The odds for an international footballer to get bitten by Luis Suarez, who has done this multiple times, I should note, 1 in 2,000. So much more likely, if you play football, international football, to get bit by Luis Suarez than an actual shark.
You know, as I see those Mr. Suarez there and holding out his rather prominent choppers, I'm just thinking, there's a burgeoning market in adult orthodontia, in cosmetic dentistry. At the end of his career, can you imagine the international sensation he would make by becoming an endorser of adult orthodontia? And not for right now, but later on. But I love his inventive excuse that the other guy just happened to run into his prominent teeth.
Stats here. The odds of getting bit by a shark while swimming in the ocean, 1 in 3.7 million. The odds of getting hit by lightning once in an 80-year lifespan, 1 in 10,000. So watch out for the lightning. Obviously,
do they have the Powerball probabilities there?
That changes week to week. Also, you're more likely to die from getting You're more likely to die from getting from a bee or hornet attack, or being killed by a firearm in the U.S., or experiencing a tsunami, or getting hit by an asteroid. Again, according to the New Statesman here.
We have such wonderful thoughts as we come back from a holiday weekend here. We hope your holiday weekend was safe. The world remains a dangerous place.
And we say this really not to warn people about the likelihood of an asteroid hitting them, but really to let them know, as summer progresses here, it is okay to go back in the ocean.
Here's what worries me, though. We're both baseball fans.
Yeah.
We understand broadcasting a game, if a pitcher is doing really well, nobody's reached base, you're never supposed to say he's in the process of pitching have we set up the inevitable, God forbid, an attack or an asteroid or anything? At any rate, your thoughts on shark attacks, the perils of modern times. Tweet us at Newsmax TV, #America's Forum.